most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, a.k.a. Jive Turkey, a.k.a. the last soldier standing, the man who held down the fort while I was gone. My guy, how the hell have you been?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. Great to see you. Great to see you all again. It was a fun Friday show. We missed you a little bit. You heard me, but you're having a good time with the crew. And we're all getting dressed up, acting a fool. So we'll drink to that. Little Dia de los Muertos. We're celebrating good vibes here. Shout out to all the loved ones that are here now were once with us. And hey, man, it's gonna be a great show. Can't wait to dive on in.
It is. It was, it was a fun card. Most of it. It's kind of like Foghorn Leghorn says, it was the best of times. I'll say it was the worst of times. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw Tommy Aspinall's face with no eyes on it. There's a reason for that. And we'll get into it. Nano, I'll let you be the judge of this. I'll let you dictate. Should we start at the bottom of the card and work our way up, or should we get through the blemish early on and work our way down?
I feel like we've been doing the reverse order. I definitely don't mind. I mean, might as well get it out the way. It was the one controversy, and
controversy.
You don't need to harp on it too long, so we can start from the top. Why not? I like it.
Absolutely, man. And shout out Jax for making the walk. My guy, what a legend. He said Nano did his thing on the prediction show. Hope the vacay did you right, Captain America. My guy, it did. It was fantastic. Honestly, we had a great time. Visited family for a few days. Got to meet the legend Jax himself in person. Watched some of these fights the weekend before. Feel like I was out of town forever, man. And yeah, then we finished it all up in New Orleans. Did the Crew of Boo Halloween parade. Did a little ghost tour action. Ate gumbo 3 out of the 4 days I was there. Your boy definitely gained some of the weight that I lost in preparation for that trip. But here we are. I digress. So shout out to that, man. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you check out Making the Walk MMA. The dude is an absolute legend, and his content is, as you'd imagine, legendary. And shout out Leroy. How we doing? Mate? How's it going, mate? Oh, I need to actually send you the picture I took next to a Sasquatch in New Orleans. There was a Sasquatch like 2 blocks away from us, like a giant statue of one. So I had to walk up to and take a picture.
Got to.
For the Aussie. Fuck's going on, Sassy? So yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this blemish first. We'll go ahead and pour out our shot for this one. Tom Aspinall versus Surreal Gane. He was here and now he's gone. Man. This fight was shaping up to be a great, possible all-time heavyweight title fight. And then it's marred by controversy, as you stated. There was a bad eye poke. There were actually 3 warnings, right? He went for the eye poke almost identical. Like just right away, bro. Multiple times. And we've seen him do this before. And it's tough to witness because, like, Tom especially, right? He took almost 2 years off for this.
Yeah, 14, 15 months since his last bout. So, yeah, quite some time. A lot of days to sit on that, and to have that was absolutely just brutal. Gutted would be the right word, my brother. And it was a fun card leading up to it for sure. A lot of hype. The fight was going great until, well, it wasn't.
Man. Let's go to these comments real quick. Thoughts on how the fight was going before the fingers? We're definitely about to get into that, Jax. You see my comment and instantly think of Sasquatch. I did. I got a rain day over here, so I'm gonna be in the chat. Let's go, bro. Happy rain day. I used to love those when I was in construction, dude. A happy, just unthought of day off, man. Random little day to you. So love to see that. Glad to hear it. Hopefully you're enjoying the rain. I'm a big fan of it myself. And if you want to hop on the show, let me know. I'll send you a link, brother. I'll send you a Russian link, brother.
Send
location. You can be on the show, brother. Big up Basement Jacks. Hey, if I keep fucking shitting the bed the way I did this week, I'm gonna be Basement Olin soon, bud.
I know. I did my thing on the show, but my picks certainly did not do their thing. It was a little rough.
Basement anomaly
on it. Absolutely.
What up, Leroy? The unexpected day off. Can't beat that. That's what I'm saying, bro. The unexpected day off. My guy. So how did I think the fight was going before it got stopped? It was very close, right? It was 27-30 on total strikes landed versus or total strikes and total significant strikes landed. Tom did miss a takedown, but when he went for the takedown, Ciryl Gane literally tried to dig into his eyes on that one too, right? So I don't know, dude. I think it was going to be not a matter of if, but a matter of when Tom got his hands around him and got a takedown on him. So I do think that it possibly was going to keep going in Tom Aspinall's favor. Did Ciryl Gane pop him with an elbow or a quick jab and bust his nose up? Yes. Was he leaking like a faucet? Double yes, bro. Big time. But I digress. It's still a Tom Aspinall fight, bro. And he was getting back in there. And if anything, my takeaway from this isn't, oh my God, Ciryl Gane was possibly gonna make his way to victory here. It's Ciryl Gane had his biggest opportunity of his life to get a UFC title, and he blew it by extending his fingers. He will never get this opportunity again. And I don't mean he'll never get the opportunity to face Tom again. I do think that they'll run this fight back eventually. Maybe it won't be the first fight they run back, but I do think they run this one back. But I think he gets blasted if they run it back and when they run it back, because he will never get a 16-month layoff Tom Aspinall again in his life. And that was a God-given gift, in my humble opinion, for him. So he blew it, bro. He blew it. Again, if you pay attention to the thumbnail, you see the little Freddy Krueger fingers there. I mean, it's pretty much what he did. Like, dude, he got a 2-for-1 special on that thing, brother. He hit those eyes like they were American pies, brother. He was trying to get knuckle deep, and he did. I also want to talk about the people online real quick, Nano. Then I'm going to pass it to you. I see all this stuff of like he should have continued. He's a pussy, blah blah, paper champ, this, that, and the other. And I also see the people saying he sustained no permanent eye damage. What a pussy. Yeah, he didn't sustain permanent eye damage. But he also sustained 3 attempted eye pokes in a matter of less than 5 minutes. What happens if that goes 25 minutes? He probably ends up like fucking Michael Bisping by the end of it. So, yeah, he should have stopped fighting at that point if he can't see. If a man can't see, a man can't fight. Karate Kid 3. So, Tom made the right call. Is he a pussy? No. Is he a paper champ? No. He's a smart championship-level fighter that made the right call. And I'd like to think that any of us manly men in the chat or in the live, we're in there, we'd probably do the same fucking thing. And if we did continue to fight and we had no vision, we'd get our asses beat by a guy that we thought we could go out there and whoop. And then we'd feel real fucking silly for doing that. So, Nano, let's do this shot and tell the people how the fuck you felt about this controversial finish. Cheers, folks.
Salute. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, man. I mean, the hype going into that was real. The energy was palpable. Their walk-ins, we got 2 of the baddest dudes on the planet. And I think that's one big takeaway, is that these are 2 of the best heavyweights we have to offer right now. And that's what we got for about 4.5 minutes or 4 minutes, however long it was. The striking differential was closer than people are making it out to be. Aspinall did land 27 shots to Gane's 30. So it was a true back and forth affair, which we just haven't seen from Tommy yet. Like we saw in the comments as well, you know, if you're going to be mad at anyone, you got to be mad at Ciryl. He's the one that double poked the current champ, Tommy Aspinall. And it was bad. I mean, knuckle deep. I think MMA Guru mentioned the
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, Captain Insano does show no mercy. Neither does Gane, and neither do the fans. I mean, the crowd was pissed off. I think, again, there's just so much hype. You're so excited. It's what for all the marbles, and you get the knuckle deep eye poke. And I think MMA Guru mentioned if he would have had his thumb in his mouth, he could have went bowling with his head. That's how freaking deep he was in his eyes. But even before that, I mean, I was really enjoying that first round, my brother. Ciryl Gane looked good. His movement, his lateral movement, his quick jab did snap one off. I think it startled Tom. And it was something we haven't seen yet. It was Tom going longer than 2 minutes in a round. Obviously, against Arlovsky, he did make a second round, sat on the stool. But this was, I believe, on its way to one of the better heavyweight title fights we've seen in a long time. It was competitive. Gane looked great, like I mentioned. You mentioned the takedown attempt. It was a little rushed. He was a little far away. Gane was able to use his man strength and really just muscle his way out of it. But he was trained in that. Talking about the shape he was in, everything, again, was leading to what was going to be a legendary night. And unfortunately, we did not get it. Tom got poked. I felt like almost right away, even just reading his lips, I can't see. Not a good look. I think even the doctor had to walk away at one point and said, I don't want to talk to the fighter because he's saying things that are going to end the fight. But that's what ended up happening. Tom was not able to go. They gave him the full 5 minutes. He was trying to open his eye. And if y'all have never been poked in the eye before, you may not fully understand what he was going through. But whether it was a full-on knuckle directly into both eyes or even just a grazing nail, like anything like that can really hamper the fight and hamper your ability to go out there and do what you need.
And the replay showed it pretty, glaringly that it was fingers in and then through the eyelids. He ended up going all the way to his first knuckle link, bro. That's disgusting.
Yeah, both these fighters move well. They're quick, and that's exactly what Tom was doing. He was rushing in, trying to blitz, get Gane moving backwards. And these things happen. It was super unfortunate, but I do think it just ultimately builds up this next fight even more. I know you mentioned, Gane's not going to get the same opportunity, but Dana did say it's a pain in the ass, but they're going to have to try to run it back. DC mentioned December. I don't know if that's a little too bullish. I don't think Tom's going to be able to recover in that amount of time. He's going to need.
I think it'll be the first or second marquee card on the Paramount deal, January or February.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I would assume both fighters are willing and able to go out there and get back in as soon as possible. I mean, we were all gutted. Tom was gutted. Even Ciryl was super emotional. And again, all for good reasons. Like it was an accident. I mean, granted, that's how he fights. Granted, I'd probably have a similar reaction. You're kind of, someone's coming towards you. It's natural to kind of have your hand out there.
It's a natural Muay Thai reaction too. Like whenever you're kicking, you have to open your hands, and also to post. Like you open your hands to post off of someone. The issue is he angled his fingers down instead of keeping his hand up, and that's ultimately what led to the eye poke. But he's done it in almost every single fight he's had.
That's the thing.
Whether it's an eye poke or a groin strike.
Yep. Yeah, the groins, which there's a few of those during the night as well. But I think this definitely builds up the next fight. Ciryl did look really good out there, for being honest. He was quick, but I do think if it was going to continue to unfold, I think Tom would have landed a couple more shots, would have had him a little bit more hurt, thinking about the takedown. And if Tom got him to the ground, I'm confident it would have been a long night. But, and there's kind of an opportunity for me to talk about the judging and what the refs were doing in there. I liked that this card stood on business and they wanted to see the guy that was in control doing damage. Tom would have done that. He wouldn't have just sat there and laid on him like Jailton Almeida. I know it's a jab, but it is what it is.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, man, it was just absolutely gutted. Feel for Tom. Shout out Tom for having his own camera crew and allowing us to see a more in-depth look of the aftermath, him still emotional after the fact, going to the hospital. Nothing major. We can't confirm he did not suffer any serious damage or anything long-term, which again, we could appreciate. Like, he's a father. We're all humans. Like, they talk about being willing to die in there. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, it was an injury. Like, he was hurt. It was an injury. It was a true injury. Couldn't even.
He said it himself. He said this was the scariest moment I've ever had. Like breaking my leg against razor blades. He said, like, it's a leg. You get surgery. It heals. You do rehab.
Yep.
If my eye gets messed up, it's an eye. I don't get that back. It doesn't heal.
Everything off. You can't drive. Like
it's like done, bro. Like your career is over. So like, And I want to real quick, I just want to jump into the comments here. We'll get to the ones before this in a moment as well. But Lord of the Pies said, the reports are that Tom was in the hospital talking to his team about retiring. Those were false reports. Those were clickbait. If you click into those articles that were saying that and read the entire quote, they never mentioned retiring. They mentioned retiring from the UFC. He has 2 fights left on his contract. His dad said that he wants him to fight out his deal and then transition into boxing, because there are no eye pokes in boxing, and he's a damn good boxer. And I don't think his dad is false for that. And there's a lot more money in that for him too. So why the fuck not? But retirement, I don't think was ever in the question. I think it was simply him saying, if the UFC doesn't value their fighters and isn't going to take eye pokes and things like that more seriously as a problem, then he's trying to essentially transition out after his contract is up in 2 fights.
Yeah, that would be the opportunity to do it, whether it's full time or just for like a true money grab or big boxing fight, with the Usyk or Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Like I would love to see that. I do like those crossover events. And I do want to mention too, it really was not fair to Tom that obviously the crowd having their opinions, which is what it is. Even though the crowd was chanting his name and all that, it's unfortunate to see the boos and all that for both fighters. Like it is what it is. Shit happens. Let's show some class. But ultimately, I'm a little pissed off with Lionheart, man. He's in there talking about post fight. Oh, well,
I've seen that man cower into a fetal position from legal strikes.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, don't make it about you. And also, that's not fair to freaking Tom. Like, he was hurt.
And if you ask 9 out of 10 MMA fans, they'll tell you the biggest mistake of his career was not bowing out and taking the DQ win over John Jones to win the belt.
Yeah, so you want to talk about making the right or wrong decision. It's like, yeah, that was a little bit of an unfair jab. Right, and I get it. They have a microphone in their face. They probably felt like we do as fans, like disappointed, gutted. You want to see him tough it out. But at the same time, let's assume he had more than 5 minutes or it was a true reset. Maybe, let's be real. I mean, he couldn't even open his eye. They were shining the light in his eye and he wasn't able to see. It's not fair. I want to see the best of the best fight in the best shape with the best conditions. And hopefully we do get that sooner rather than later, but absolutely got it for Tom. Surreal did look good, no doubt about it, which again, just adds to the hype for the next fight when they do actually square off again.
100%. And making the walk, I agree. Lionheart was tripping on the desk for sure. I've seen him quit in person. Tom made a business decision. 100%. And Rob Rex, that's it, man. Like, also got to take into account, Tom has 2 fights left in his contract. Can't act like anyone wouldn't want to end the UFC contract as safe and quick as they can and get boxing paydays.
Well said.
And like the notoriety, right? Like, the guy barely gets noticed on the street still today in his hometown. If he goes and starts boxing, he's going to be a legend.
Yeah.
The fact that he looks like John Fury, Tom Fury's dad, like, I mean, the dude is tailor-made for it. So, come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Did Lionheart quit against John Jones when John illegally struck him? No, and it's the biggest mistake of his UFC career. Yeah, you're right, Lord of the Pies. He did tough it out like a fucking idiot. So, yeah, I'll die on that hill. That was the dumbest mistake Lionheart ever fucking made.
I mean, Lionheart could have 3 eyes, and I still don't think he's being John Jones.
No chance.
Let's just be real.
No chance. He could have been gifted a win over him. Because John is a cheater, and for once they were willing to do the right thing, but they simply didn't. Now, thanks making the walk. That would have been a good time to quit. I agree. So yeah, man, like, come on, bro, come on. And with that being said, let's jump into this co-main event because we got to watch this sour taste out of our mouth, right? Let's talk about a women's strawweight bout for the title between Vienna Kakara Jandiroba and Mackenzie. Gosh darn. This was a hell of a fight, man. If people say this was boring, then I'm convinced that they don't really like MMA. Over 200 significant strikes landed between these two women. Over 400 total strikes landed between these women in this 25-minute title fight. And it did go all 25 minutes. There were double-digit takedowns landed. But, man. I thought it was a fantastic fight, top to bottom. Lord of the Pies, so you agree that Tom quit. No, I agree that Tom suffered an illegal blow from his opponent, and his opponent, having broken the rules, probably should have lost the fight, but was gifted a no contest instead. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Tom quit. I think Tom made a decision based on a rule set. If we are playing a game and you cheat, I no longer have to play that game with you. Or you are DQ'd and I am the winner of that game. It is that way with most things, right? If you're playing in the NFL and you cheat, they take your rings away. Even if it's found out years later. Hashtag Deflategate, right? We found out about this. So that's the thing. And Leroy, this is it 100%. I'm so fucking tired of hearing, was it intentional or was it unintentional? Intentional or not, a foul is a foul, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've all had the dream where we show up to work and we don't have pants on. Doesn't matter, bro. You still get laughed at. You still get made fun of because you showed up to work without your pants on. Did you do it on purpose? Did you forget them? Doesn't matter. You still did the thing that you know you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. Short of going full Captain Insano and just blatantly poking someone in the eye, I don't know how else you call it intention or not. This is as close to it as we can define. Because, again, if it were, hey, he was throwing a combination and, you know, the knuckle or a fingernail, you know, slices the eye a little bit or just barely grazes it. Accident. Can still stop a fight because, hey, fighter can't see. That's damage to the eye. Can't do it. So, yeah, the no contest is interesting. And then just the term intentional. Yeah, again, how do you really define it?
It's subjective.
It's super subjective. Unless, again, he's just blatantly Captain Insano and with a finger in the eye. It's like, we don't see that. It doesn't happen. It's typically not with intention, but the reality is it's still illegal.
Yeah. So. And it goes back to that, Lord of the Pies, which Lord of the Pies just said, but you said Lion should have quit when Tom, but when Tom quit, it's not quitting. That I don't understand. I didn't say that Lionheart should have quit. I said Lionheart should have taken the DQ win that he was gifted by his opponent cheating and breaking the rules, which is exactly what happened on Saturday against Tom Aspinall. Now, with that being said, Nano, what were your thoughts on Mackenzie Dern's performance and her, I guess, finally having that dream come to fruition, right? Like, since she made her debut in the UFC, we thought she had that potential. And then she's had kind of a roller coaster of a journey, if you will, right? Ups and downs. But this was definitely the highest of highs thus far. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts were that Mackenzie looked absolutely sharp. As soon as she started landing and throwing that jab, I said, okay. And she looked good. I mean, going into it, obviously, sheesh, as Bobby Green said. But really, like, her physique morphed, especially when you see the old highlights, like her shoulders, her back. And a lot of that is from learning good boxing. So shout out to her coaches for really sharpening that tool in the toolbox, which, if we're being honest, was kind of the last missing piece for Mackenzie Dern to earn that championship. I think she now joins Rare Air. I want to say, was it Fabricio Verdum that was also a BJJ champ and now a UFC
and
champ
an ADCC champ.
And ADCC. OMG. I mean, that is absolutely
ADCC
phenomenal.
with and without a gi, I believe.
So she came in as the absolute hype machine, had that in the repertoire, and she looked great. I mean, again, the striking was on point. She looked strong. Yeah, she got taken out at times, but the thing that I appreciated was that she was throwing haymakers on the ground. Shots that I think were hurting Verna and making her a little more hesitant to continue to get the takedown, and she wasn't able to do much with it, right? I mean, I want to go back to the point. It's not just about the takedown, which scores, and it's not just about control time. It's what you do with it. Are you inflicting damage on your opponent? Frankly, Verna was not able to inflict a lot of damage. In fact, you can make a case Mackenzie was landing far more shots, even though she was in that bottom position, with the imminent threat of a submission at any given point. I loved it. I think it was absolutely great performance, a great strawweight women's championship fight. Verna left it all out there, but Mackenzie was a better woman that night, has her number, and now Mackenzie gets thrown into stardom. She has the appeal, and I just can't say enough good things about how Mackenzie looked out there. But the striking and the boxing was definitely the difference maker here, and her violence and willingness to try to score and land as much as possible. That's all we want to see, and that's what we got. So, like you said, I mean, a ton of shots landed, 5 full rounds, absolute back and forth. I thought it maybe even could have been a fight of the night, but there were some other bangers, so can't knock them for that. But I was very entertained, and I'm very happy to see Mackenzie, how you Dern, with the belt around her daughter's waist. Like really, really cool scene there. And in terms of what's next, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people chomping at the bit, but it does feel like Tatiana Suarez is probably next in line, which, again, I think Mackenzie matches up really well with her, given that new evolution that we've just seen from Mackenzie. What do you think's next for the new strawweight women's champion, my brother?
Man, great breakdown. And I mean, there's a lot that could be next for her, right? I feel like it's a hungry division, especially with the reigning defending champion leaving the division the way that she did. It opens a lot of things up for these ladies. And just jumping back to your point of the actual breakdown of the fight, right? Here's the thing. What is ground control if not inflicting damage? First things first, let's talk about attempted submissions, in which Virna Jandiroba Kakara had 0. Okay. She had 9 whole minutes of control time, which is almost 2 full rounds of the fight, which was only 5 rounds. So you would think 2 full rounds of control time. She probably won 2 rounds. I gave her 1 at best. Let me tell you why. With over 9 minutes of control time, she landed 2 significant strikes.
Not
like, it's just not gonna do a whole lot for me, bud. Like as Shania Twain once said, that don't impress me much. All right. And what does impress me is that you knew the stat you did about her and Fabricio Werdum sharing those things, right? Those stats. One of the other things that I love about her is she is the sole female jiu-jitsu competitor, to my knowledge, to win at a black belt level across all 5 major IBJJF gi championships. So that's Worlds, Euros, Pan Ams, Brazilian Nationals, and Asian Opens. And if you're confused at what that means, it's basically like collecting Pokemon cards or the Infinity Stones, but with chokes and leg locks. So, I mean, she's a fucking beast, bro. She just has finally been coming up into the right place, the right mindset. And I genuinely think her training again with Jason Perillo is probably the best thing for her. Like, they have such a good connection and mentality. It genuinely feels almost like a father-daughter relationship when he's talking to her, and he's so calm with her, and she needs that in the corner, and it shows. So great performance for her. As far as what should be next off the cusp, I mean, I know you said Tatiana Suarez, which definitely not a bad call out, right? She's right there, sitting at number 1. The other one for me is probably Yan Xiaonan, or does Amanda Lemos have anything coming up? She won her last one, I believe, right?
I believe she did. Yeah, Jan's coming off that loss to Virna, so that could make sense. No one.
Oh no, yeah, Amanda lost to Tatiana. That's who Tatiana beat.
Yeah.
So it does. I think you're right. I think it has to be Tatiana.
Until
trying to give you something different.
Down. Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, if Valentina beats Wei Li decisively, we could see
this
her
is
go
a good
back
one
down.
from Jax, bro. The real question is this the start of some hot potato with the belt in the strawweight division? I personally don't think so. I think Mackenzie Dern is a bad matchup stylistically for probably 8 out of 10 in the top 10. And she should be able to beat a lot of these girls. And the worst thing about her is she's continuing to get better seemingly every fight, or at least every other fight. So it's a bad situation for a lot of these girls. I don't know what your thought is on that, Nano.
No, I agree. I mean, she does match up really well, knowing and what she displayed against Virna Jandiroba, who wanted to go out there and out-grapple her, out-wrestle her, use that strength to her advantage. She wasn't able to get her hand raised. So you look at Tatiana's game, it's not like she has much more to offer than Virna does when it comes to the standing, the boxing, which is where all fights do start. And yeah, again, if Mackenzie's going to be throwing those 1-2s crispy like that, head movement, I mean, how do you beat her? You know, that's where I think Wei Li would enter the chat, you know, making the walk. If Wei Li decides to make the walk back in strawweight, certainly changes the dynamics here. That could be a little popcorn-esque if, you know, going back and forth in that sense, but current champ did vacate her title, which is why these 2 girls got the nod. She comes back in. She is still the queen of strawweight, in my opinion, being Wei Li Zhang.
I agree. I think that would be the biggest hot potato there is if she came back down. I think she'd just take that belt right back, right? She's too good for a lot of these women, and she just seems to be too fast and a step ahead everywhere the fight goes. And speaking of a step ahead, we got to go ahead and jump into this next one, man. Bantamweight bout between Umar Nurmagomedov coming in against Mario Bautista. And man, I thought for a moment, I'll keep my breakdown short and sweet and pass you the baton here. I thought for a moment there that Mario Bautista was going to rip Umar's fucking leg off. Like he was torquing the hell out of that ankle. Dude almost got Cam Scatterbooed, bro. Rest in peace to that ankle.
R.I.P.
But I digress, bro. Like, even without that, it was a great fight for Mario Bautista. I think he did everything right. The issue was Umar Nurmagomedov is just a special animal, right? And he seemed to just, like, have you ever seen a man get knocked out and then will himself to not get knocked out?
I mean, only those Nurmagomedovs, man. I'm telling you. I mean, that dude's built different. I don't know how he took that shot and was able to bounce back. I think Mario.
I thought he was out, bro. And then he woke up on the way to the ground.
Yeah, that was probably a flash knockout. He did not see that coming. Mario Bautista's a stud. He stretched out Umar as far as anybody could. That's a fact. I think Mario should be number 3 ranked guy in the division. That's how good he looked. And, man, he knocked him down. He had a good opportunity. But, again, the wrestling game, you didn't want to engage fully. You didn't want to gas out, which I kind of understand. But at the same time, not a lot of chances you get to knock down the potential number 1 contender. Really was hoping he was going to leave it all out. That was his chance, because what we saw after that was just Umar continuing to go back to his game plan, out grapple, out wrestle. Some great corner work from both guys. Obviously, Khabib in Umar's corner, making sure he sticks to the game plan and does what he needs to do. Mario, also great corner work. I mean, Mackenzie Dern as well. I thought that was some of the best talking I've seen was with Mackenzie Dern's corner, like you mentioned. Has the right coaches in there, has her dad in there as well. But Mario, same thing. Like, his coach was very matter of fact. Like, it's close. I don't think he won that second round. We need a finish. Was not able to get it. But that's all compliments to Umar Nurmagomedov. He is one of the guys, and I can't wait for him to ice up that ankle. He did get that thing ripped apart. He was limping a little bit. Will not be surprised if there's some soft tissue damage. Hopefully nothing serious, but I can't even forget about that. It's like, Mario had 2 opportunities to really change the game. He could have broke that dude's ankle. I mean, flash knocked him out. Like, who does that to Umar Nurmagomedov? Even my boy Corey Sandman wasn't able to do it. So I have the utmost respect for Mario. Shout out AZ and MMA Lab. Those boys are cooking, but Umar is still that guy. Hits levels in this game. And Umar, obviously, just reminded all of us. And I feel bad for Merab in some ways. I think you just want to see new blood get in there. But if I'm being real, Umar deserves it after the yawn, and that will be a fight that if Umar can figure out a way to not get gassed out against the machine, Merab, he could potentially be a champion as well. But that's a conversation for another day. We'll break it down, but I do think he should get the shot next, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, like, he's the only guy that's ever even come close to beating the machine. And if he has a perfect night, who knows? Maybe he can.
Yeah,
he did. Speaking of winning some rounds, I was very shocked that not one judge gave Mario Bautista a round. Like, how do you not give him round 2? He knocked out his opponent. It's not his fault his opponent didn't stay knocked out.
That could have easily been a 10-8, which would have made it real dicey. But no, I definitely gave Mario that second round, if any.
Yeah. I mean, at least 10-9, bro. Like, come on. But there was definitely some interesting scoring here, right? Speaking of interesting scoring and interesting fights in general, we had a heavyweight bout in the next one, which I believe we both took Jailton Almeida. Tough. Them's the breaks. Alexander Volkov came out here, man on a mission in the heavyweight division, doing his best TRT Patty Pimblett impression with the braids. I mean, he looked good. He just got taken down 7 times. He got taken down 7 times, and the man who took him down 7 times only landed a whopping 27 total strikes, to which he was able to respond with 123. Pretty wild stuff, if you ask me. I mean, looking at the control time, 10 minutes and 47 seconds. So over 2 whole rounds of control time for Mr. Almeida, and he could not land 30 strikes. He could not land double digits of significant strikes. He only got 9 of those. My gosh. My gosh. Hold on. What is this comment? You're such a dick. Would love to hear the hosts give a shout out to Mr. Dern. Man's going to get paid now. Facts. He's a made man and a paid man. Sheesh.
You're right. He is a lucky dog. Let's be real.
Does the money that she pays change retroactively when she gets an upgrade? That's wild if so.
I don't think so, but
I would certainly hope not. My goodness. Yeah. But man, speaking of things I would hope not see, a man get 11 minutes of control time and land less than 30 strikes. But it happened. And so I pour my shot for Jailton Almeida, who can't tell you I've been that let down in a very long time. It's funny. I said this was possibly going to be the guy to give Tom a hard fight. That aged like milk that was already sour when you put it in the fridge. It aged poorly, folks, just in case you're not following that. And with that being said, folks, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. You know the drill. And if you're drinking, we hope you're drinking with us. Cheers to you.
Salute. Now, for the record, on Friday, I did mention, and I'm not in the
underdogs competition.
Yeah, but Volkov was my pick, so that did age like a fine wine. Well, we covered our bases.
Let's go. We hedged. So what were your thoughts on the actual fight, though, Nano? Let's hear your breakdown here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be remiss not to say, for lack of a better phrase, a little boring. I mean, obviously, we don't love to see just someone just laying on top of their opponent, but Alexander Volkov was opportunistic. He made the most out of it. He had some reversals. He had some really good shots. And I kind of mentioned, too, on Friday, it's like, I could see it being like a Curtis Blades-esque where all it takes is one big shot from these heavyweights to change it up and get Jailton rattled. But, he was able to get the takedowns. It was a split decision, to your point on the judging. I'd be curious to see or hear, how the judge looked at that specifically. Obviously, he considered the control time to be enough, but the 2 other judges did not agree, and I'm thankful for that because, again, and Dana White said in his post-fight conference, we're not in the business of winning just by laying on your opponent. This isn't a true wrestling match. We're talking mixed martial arts. We need to see damage. We want to see you be aggressive. We want to see you make the most out of it. But when you're getting this control time and you land a total of 9 strikes in a round, 3 out of 4 takedowns, I can't get behind that. Volkov, other than that second round, which if you want to give Jailton one, sure. But Volk was productive. He was making the most out of it. He had his moments. And I think he's probably the better, well-rounded fighter. Like Volkov at this stage in his career, 50 fights. It's just like a stubborn, he's a stubborn son of a gun, man. He never goes away. He's just hanging around that top. I did mention the long hair might have added some extra aura, that little Vikingness to his game. But yeah, man, I mean, it was a little lackluster at moments, but I'm glad that Alexander Volkov won. I think it's a direct message to everybody that fights in the UFC is if you're not trying to actively win the fight, then you're losing the fight. Don't care what position you're in, because that's really all it is. I think DC mentioned as well, like it's just a position. That's just changing the position of whether it's grappling up against the fence, or you're in the clinch, or you're at range, or you're in a phone booth. It doesn't matter how you get there. It's what you do once you're there. And being on the ground is just another form, another opportunity for you to make it the obvious choice, inflict damage in any way, even if it's just a little soft hammer fist. I want to see something, but just hanging on for dear life and waiting for the bell, not going to cut it.
Yeah, Khamzat Chimaev him for fucking 13
something. Yeah, something, man. Yeah, I mean, we need to see a little some.
Jesus.
So
I got to bring up this comment for you to read here from Leandro. Oh, not that one. I think it was a little bit further up. Here we go.
Volkov can't stuff a takedown, and Jailton can't land a strike. Real contenders for the belt. ... Yeah, I think that also just confirms the point that Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall are by far and away the best heavyweights that we have to offer. That was not a number one contender fight. If Jailton went out there and did something special, sure. Volkov knocks out Jailton, sure. Throw him in there. But Tom already handled business with Volkov. Volkov did technically beat Gane, but I think a lot of people felt like that was a lopsided decision, or maybe Gane got robbed. Or Or no, the other way. Volkov got robbed against Gane. Which, yeah, I mean, again,
I guess Dana made it right.
I guess he made it right? I mean, fantasy gods were listening.
He said, hey, if this one goes to decision, it needs to go to the blonde guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a little gutted for Volkov as well. He's going to have to now wait. There was no finality for that championship fight, so Volkov now has to wait in the wings. Maybe he gets that nod, or you throw him a Sergey Pavlovich or someone like that. And same with Jalton. Like, I'm not trying to really have
you do Curtis Blades or Salsa Boy, Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Any of those four guys, if they were to match up against one another in any capacity, I think that's totally fair game. Jalton should get someone else ranked.
I think making the walk is perfect here. He said, I'm looking forward to seeing Almeida versus Valter Walker. Let's go for that.
Let's go for that. That's a great call out. Valter does want someone.
Go for that.
I mean, he's got the hype behind him. He's jumping a lot of dudes in line, but you know what? Why the hell not? Styles make fights. Let's see if Jalton can lay on top of Valter while he's trying to take a heel. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that'd be a great one, man. And Lord of the Pies asked about that previous question. Is there a percentage-based child support, LOL? To which Leroy responded, nah, it's alimony. This is a great conversation.
Yeah.
Lord of the Pies says, I don't care what anybody says. I admire Kevin Federline. They say don't stick your thing in anything crazy, but it worked out for him. He used to get millions from her. Yeah. Neither guy, he also said neither guy should have won that fight. Alexander didn't do anything to win the fight either. They both deserved to lose. Majority draw would have been fine by me.
Yeah.
What was he doing sitting on his back for minutes at a time? He's been in the UFC for over 10 years and he can't stand up. He doesn't deserve to get praised. I agree with that.
I agree.
I also don't think that Tom deserves to get talked down on because he got poked in the eye, but nobody's talking shit about Ciryl Gane. So here we are at a crossroads here, Pies.
You can always agree to disagree. But yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate we have to have the conversation, but that's the reality of the sitch. And these are big boys. They're putting their lives on the line. But yeah, to me and how I like to operate, and if I were Dana or any of their coaches, I'm saying, hey, you got to make yourself the obvious choice. Don't leave any doubt. And unfortunately, both fighters did in that sense. Leave it all out there, man. I mean, go big or go home. Like I would be the guy willing to take those chances. And if I went out on my shield, then so be it. But to think you're winning the fight or to do it in that fashion and then lose, now you just look a little silly. And you're not gaining any fans, which at a minimum, you might want to try to do as well while you got the platform. I'll leave it there.
And with that being said, we move on into the light heavyweight division. No, I'm going to keep mine very short and sweet here because this fight didn't last a whole lot of time itself. 3 minutes and 11 seconds into the very first round. Azamat KOs is just a block of C4, bro. Like he's a stick of dynamite, right? And it genuinely looked like it. The force in which this man lands is something special, my guy. It truly is. And Alexander Rakic, he's no slouch, right? We've seen him in there in championship level fights at the top of the game in the UFC, and he's been a ranked contender for some time now. But in this fight, I can honestly say, bad joke possible here. The rocket exploded out there on Saturday night.
We'll take it. We'll allow it.
The professional seemed to be a professional at taking rockets apart. I don't know why, man. I thought Rakic was going to go out there and be able to beat him. I thought because he had I don't know, call me crazy here, 6.5-inch reach advantage, that he'd be able to do something with it. But hey, man, making the walk said it best. Rakic is cooked. Man, might as well be a prime rib because he is on the grill and he is looking crispy these days, my guy. That was a tough one. That was a tough one as a Rakic fan. He might be cooked. But Azamat, we'll let you talk about this fight, and then we got to throw some names out there, brother.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Azamat has entered the chat. My goodness, the professional is a pro. The fact that he was able to do that to Rakic with just a stiff jab just goes to show, like, this dude's got some legitimate dynamite in his hands, man. He is a freaking stud. Can't say enough good things about him. Making the walk, I think you're absolutely right, my brother. I love Alexander Rakic on paper. When you look at him, want to root for him. Dude looks intimidating as all get out. But Father Time is undefeated, and unfortunately, I think his brain is at that point where it doesn't take much. And not to take away from Azamat. Dude has power, obviously. Again, a stiff jab was all it took. That's all she wrote. But Rakic is just, that was bad. I mean, I don't know how many more of those you want to take. Maybe he's better suited for a heavyweight division where he can use that speed and tenacity and just come in and not have to wear himself down. You hear about that with other fighters. I mean, even Islam, not to get too sidetracked here, but another fellow Russian said that he was fine at 60-70% in lightweight. Maybe that's a situation we're looking at here.
That's scary. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, my goodness. But maybe that's Rakic. Maybe he's killing himself to try to stay in that weight. He's a freaking ginormous human being. He might be better off going against those bigger boys, but at the same time, with bigger boys comes bigger power and bigger responsibility. So I don't know how much the Chin could take.
But he is a fast light heavyweight. So I think you might be onto something. If he goes to that like kind of tweener stage where he's fighting kind of like Jailton was for the first few years, where he's like around 225, 235, he'll probably light a lot of these guys up, especially with the skill deficit, because he is very skilled.
Take a year to bulk up and let the chin rest and kind of regroup as far as your style. Because even like his takedown attempts and what he showed, I felt, and obviously hindsight's always 20/20, but it did feel like he was a little scared. I don't know if he knew Azamat's power and that he just didn't want to get touched, but I didn't see a confident, dominant fighter in there. I saw someone that was scrambling, trying to make the most out of it. And again, I mean, once they actually got in an exchange, just a freaking stabbing jab was all it took. It landed perfectly. Don't get it twisted, but no, Azamat is legit. In terms of what's next, looks like
Making the Walk says, I like Murzakanov versus Ankalaev. Too much too soon? I don't like it, man. I think that's too fast.
I'm looking one opponent beneath him. I do like Magomed Ankalaev.
You like Olberg?
Dude, 2 knockout artists going in there. Oh,
I like Jamahal. Jamahal Hill. Let's go for that.
Jamahal makes sense. I mean, he did lose the Roundtree. He's got to bounce back. I just
feel like he's on a 3-fight skid.
Yeah, and if I'm Azamat, I would prefer to fight someone that has won and is also trying to get to that title contender status.
But the last 3 people that have beat Hill have gotten title shots, right? Am I crazy?
That's true. That is true, which does in some ways diminish.
And he's ahead of Alexander Rakic by 1 rank on the UFC's website, at least, which they do their updates tomorrow.
I was going to say, they may not have updated it yet, so that will obviously change. I mean, Azamat's currently 10. That ain't going to be the case anymore. But anyone in the top 5, Azamat has entered the chat. Who's going to want to sign up for that? I don't know. Lionheart, speaking of his wussy behind, said that he literally avoided that fight. So you had all this shit to say. You don't want to fight the best of the best. So don't.
Hell no, he didn't want to fight.
Diss me with that BS, man. But no, he straight up said I said no to Azamat.
All right. If Jamal is getting surgery, as Leandro pointed out, then making the Walk said Jamal Hill is out for a while. He got knee surgery. Oh, bless his heart. Then I'm with you actually. I 1000% back your pick. I think Carlos Olberg.
Olberg. I mean, Jan already has a dangerous partner with Guskov. Maybe Khalil.
Magomed. Maybe he's not too rich. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Khalil. He's waiting in the wings. I know he would answer the bell to anyone. Yeah, but Azamat stylistically is a problem for all these.
He's a nightmare for a lot of guys because he has the grappling and grappling negation, but he has 75% of his wins, and he's 16-0 by knockout.
We just saw it. Yeah, it's that power.
Like, the dude has dynamite in his hands, bro. It's just nasty the way that he lands on these guys, and you can see, right? Like he landed a power jab and dropped this guy.
Yeah.
To drop somebody like Rakic with a jab is nasty work, bro. It's nasty work. Leroy said put Big Modi B in there. He's ready to go up. I mean, I love Modi B. I don't like that for our boy, though. I'll be honest with you. It's not the top of my list.
Bite off. Yeah. I think Azamat after something like that. And Lord of the Pies, you're absolutely right. I mean, we could definitely pump the brakes here in the sense that Rakic was coming off 3 losses. 1 was by injury, but already seen him get knocked out multiple times. Maybe that doesn't mean he's the #1 contender at this point, but a Carlos Olberg who's looking to really solidify himself, separate himself from the crowd. A Khalil Roundtree who's had that opportunity but needs a true bounce back. Guys like that, I think make total sense. I don't think there's a reason for Azamat to fight down. I think we could all agree there. So it only leaves a Khalil and Olberg and maybe a Magomed. But again, that's too bullish for you. So be it. I would be totally happy with Ulber coming off a KO win as well. And both of them might look Dana in the eyes and say, hey, we want that next shot. And Dana will say, all right, we'll prove it. And then there you have it. So I'd love to see one of those guys fight next for the title. We've already, Alex is already lapping the division here. That makes sense to me. Sign me up. What do y'all think, Lord of the Pies? I mean, is anyone else top of mind for you as far as what's next? Let us know in the comments, y'all.
Leroy said he's on a 4-fight win streak, 3 in 2025. Just monstered Paul Krieg, a pastime Paul Krieg, or past prime Paul Krieg, to be fair. I think Modi ready to get in the mix. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I just want to see him get a slow roll.
Is he ready? Yes, but will he get the shot? Probably not. That's
the thing.
Yeah.
I want to say he could beat everybody in the top 5, but the top 5 are levels. But Rakic, it's kind of just a big, massive guy who's not very good when comparing him to everybody else in the top 10. I agree with that.
It's fair. Yeah, it's fair assessment.
I definitely agree with that. And he said before that he's pumping the brakes with Mirzakhanov because Rakic had no wins over any current UFC fighters. So, I mean, that's a fair point to make. It's a fair point to be made. But, man, we got to talk about this next fight. I am going to put a Zen in right now because this was just like good sex that you need a cigarette after.
Ooh.
Like 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, we saw somebody die inside of the octagon.
Oh my god.
Quillan Salkilld came into the lightweight division, man on a mission, knocking people out, looking crazy, smoking those cigars after doing it, the air cigars. And then in his last fight, we all remember it. Some of us wish we could forget it, but we remember it. It was against Yanal Lashmus, and he came out there and it was a boring, grindy fight. But he said before that fight, he wants to prove that he can come out there and not finish somebody and just go the distance and win. And he did exactly that in that Yanal Lashmus fight, right? Like he went out there, he landed 8 of 23 attempted takedowns. 23 attempted takedowns for a 155-pound fighter is just dumb. And he landed 89 strikes, which is almost 89 more strikes than Jailton Almeida landed on top, right? But I digress. This guy, he said after that, he's like, now that I got this out of the way and I proved to you guys I have a gas tank and that's not an issue, I'm going to go out here and knock somebody out so I can get you guys back on board. And he did exactly that over a game opponent like Nasrat Hopcross, right? Like, AKA Young Kelvin Gastelum. This dude is an absolute beast, right? We've seen him come out there and blast John Makdessi and another likely list of names. But Quillan Salkilld, he hit him so hard, he broke his own foot on impact. Don't know if you know that or not.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that.
He snapped his foot on impact.
I mean, he snapped it off on his skull.
He literally, he said he's kicked people with his like shin before and stuff, but he's never hit anybody that hard with his foot before. And yeah, it broke. He was already in a boot before he did the post-fight presser. So he's gonna be out for a minute, but dude is a fucking beast. Okay, Leandro said Nasrat got robbed. He put Salkilld in the ankle lock with his head.
Leandro, I love it, brother. Coming from the top ropes here.
My guy gets the laugh track for that one. Alex Pip, brother, don't come here doing this. You got to come in here doing the woo emojis. My guy just got married this week.
Oh,
congratulations,
AP.
brother.
Congrats.
Salutations. I hope everything was fantastic. Love the Pulp Fiction first dance.
Oh,
bro,
what?
Everything looked great. Looked like you and the old lady were having a great time. I'll pour up a shot to that for damn sure.
Was it the twist? You did the twist?
Yeah, they did the Pulp Fiction twist.
Wait, you talking about this one? You talking about that right there?
Yes, sir.
Talking about that right there? Move the bottles. You talking about that?
Yeah, everybody in the chat, give Alex Pip a big old congrats. Come on now.
Congrats, brother.
The nephew. He always calls me Uncle Olin. I love it. Cheers to you, Alex.
Salud.
Let's go.
Appreciate y'all. Dude, AP, that's sick. I'm so jealous, man. That's a super cool dance. Oh.
Yeah, he sent me a picture. Yeah, it was sick. So yeah, man. Beautiful, just snap head kick. Muay Thai style behind it. Looked like a fucking roundhouse from hell. I mean, just everything you want to see. This kid is 10-1. He's young in his career. He's young in his life. He was born in 1999, which makes me feel extremely old. But man, I'm paying attention. It might be somebody I draft next season in our UFC fantasy league. My guy.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty safe bet based on what we just saw. My goodness. I mean, that was we joke around and mention, people get sent to the shadow realm. I mean, killing them out there. Straight sent Nasrat into the shadow realm. I mean, that was absolutely stunning, jaw-dropping knockout. Earned every bit of that 50K. Should have been 100, just how badass that was. And dude, I was scared. Like, I don't know if you saw the replay, but Nasrat was, literally laid out, and his leg was shaking at one point. I was like, dude, I had to pull my wife from the room. She's like, why the hell did you show me this guy getting murdered? Like, this made me uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. But I had to share it with somebody. I just couldn't help myself. But straight up, that was extremely well timed. I mean, no setup whatsoever needed. And it wasn't even like Nasrat had his hands down. Like, he had his hand in the right spot. But I think just even subconsciously, those body shots, the leg kicks to the body, just kind of gave Nasrat just that little bit of hesitation, just enough of a gap to hit the right spot on the side of the head there. Brutal knockout, but hell of a performance from Quillan. And I mentioned on Friday as well, I picked Nasrat because I said, hey, I need to see it first. And boy, did I. That is about all I need to see. Sign me up. I'm a fan. Those guys down under are cooking right now. Wow. Just absolutely stunning performance. That's all I can say. Sucks he broke his foot. That does push back the timeline and what I think would be next for him. Because when I'm looking at it, why not throw him in there against a mother effer who needs to bounce back? Big name. Put on the glasses. I'm talking about a fighting nerd. Maybe a Mauricio Hoofy. But I think Mauricio's going to want to fight before he recovers. So now I'm looking at someone that has been around the block. That is another staple in the division. Fought 3 times already this year, just fought back in September. I could see him maybe being willing to take those 4 to 6 months off. I'm talking about the great ape, Alexander Hernandez. You got to give him a good name. He asked for a top 15er. Not so fast, buddy. But someone like Alexander the Great Ape is right on the cusp of being ranked. And that could be a good opportunity for the winner of that to finally get the chance to have a number next to their name. What do you think, brother? Anyone else that stands out to you? And let us know in the chat as well. What is next for this Quillan Salkilld?
I like Mauricio Rufy. I like that name. I think that's a really fun name, bro. But the name that I had is Benny St. Denis.
Oh.
Benoit St. Denis, I think, is stylistically a fun matchup for him. It would make him test his grappling because we know that he's game for it. He's privy to it. But yeah, I like either of those names, man. I think either of those would be a lot of fun. And I also like the Great Ape shout out too. I'm not a fan of his, you know that. I don't like his mouthpiece. Great martial artist these days, but dude, tough. It'd be a tough fight for both guys, for damn sure.
Benoit is fighting Beneil Dariush.
Oh, Benny from the block. It's Battle of the Bennies. Luther has to change their name to Steve.
I like that. So I guess, do you think knowing that information, do you think he'll win and then that'll be next? Or do you think Beneil will win, Benoit will want to bounce back and go with the South?
I think Beneil Dariush smokes him. And then Benny St. Denis versus our guy, Quillan Salkilld.
I like it.
Alex no longer a pipsqueak. That's funny. Grimy, how was your trip? And I'm late. Was smoking with the girl when I got home. Brother, nice. Thanks for asking. It was fantastic. We had some rain. We thought we were going to end up having the parade for Halloween canceled, and it stopped. Everything cleared up. It was beautiful weather for the days we were there. Honestly, it was the best New Orleans trip I've ever had as far as weather goes. Like, it was cool. It wasn't miserably humid. The last day we were there, the hour that we were going to the airport and stuff, I was like, oh my God, it is back to normal New Orleans weather. And it is telling us how miserable we would have been if it was like this for the last days we were here. So yeah, man, no complaints. I had gumbo, like I said earlier in the show, I think 3 out of 4 days I was there. I ate crawfish étouffée. One of my favorite stops, one of my favorite foods that I had while we were there was literally my lady she found this list called the Boudin Trail. And so when you're driving in New Orleans from up north Louisiana, there's like 10 or 12 stops, I guess. And they each, it's like everything from like restaurants to gas stations to like convenience stores that have Boudin in various flavors and types. And they're known as like the best in Louisiana. So she told me about that list. We were driving 5.5 hours south from my mom's to get to New Orleans after visiting my mom and sister. And so I was like, cool, we should hit at least one of these. So she found the one that had the most reviews as being the best. And we stopped there. And as a kid that grew up in Louisiana, mostly, I got to tell you, best boudin I've had in my entire life. Best pork cracklings I've had in my entire life. They were at like a borderline, like a convenience store just off the freeway called The Best Stop. So it was the best stop. I had those pork cracklings for the next 3 days. I got a half pound of them. They were fantastic.
The gift that keeps on giving. Brother,
so good. And when we go back, I will go again and I will try the chicken cracklings. So big fan. Big fan. And I had to ask Jax if the shirt fit. He's wearing it now apparently and it fits perfect. Let's go, brother. Glad you like the other one too. 10 days notice, 13 kilogram cut, head kick from the depths of hell. He cut 13 kgs. Kg is 2.2 pounds if memory serves me correct. Pounds,
he's a big boy.
Kgs. Or no. Kg is less. That's right.
20.
I was thinking the other one. I was thinking pharmacy math. Old side of the brain that I don't use anymore.
Yeah, it's 2.2. So that's what, 20 something pounds, 26 some.
Oh, I reversed it. Yeah, it was 2.2.
Yep.
So I mean, that's a decent cut, bro. Especially at 10 days notice. Like you're not even really in camp. Alex Pipp said taking a few shots. Let's go, brother. We'll do another one with you in a moment for sure. Don't want to do them back to back because we still have some fights to go over. But I digress. With that, we move into the middleweight division to talk about Ikram Aliskerov coming in against the Iron Turtle, Jun Young Park, who is exactly that. As the nickname states, he is an Iron Turtle. He is, I think, almost impossible to put away, at least from strikes, right? Making the walk said that's a great call, Nano. I'd love to see Hernandez get knocked out by Salkilld. Same. It might be the second Hernandez bet I'll ever hit in my life. The first one being, ironically enough, at the shirt you're wearing, Cowboy Cerrone against him. So, oh man. I found a clip of Tom on a podcast saying he can go into a mental space other fighters can't go into. Dude, why are you still on this, Pies?
People don't forget.
Fucking this guy is hilarious tonight. Be nice if Salkilld could do the same to Chandler. Oh, brother. Could you imagine he just starts beating all the muscle heads? Like he beats like fucking Alexander the Great Ape. Then he goes up and beats Chandler. I mean, like, that's fantastic. All these fighters say that they say that, but they don't really mean it. They're not willing to die in there. Fair. I mean, a lot of people say they're willing to take a bullet for someone, but they wouldn't really do it. Push come to shove, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
And to be completely honest, I'd rather have a friend that's willing to give a bullet for me than take one. So with that, let's go. Baked potatoes looked amazing. Oh, bro. The bodacious barbecue, dude, if you're ever like, I don't ever see a reason anyone would want to go to Bossier City unless they have family there, if I'm being completely honest, or you get stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base and you're in the Air Force. But the bodacious barbecue spot up there is, lo and behold, some of the best barbecue I've ever had. And they have this dish called the potato. It's a baked potato that's like this big. They split it in half. They fill it with pulled brisket. And they give you a whole container of their barbecue sauce, which is also hot and fresh made.
Nice.
And sour cream and cheese. And, brother.
All the fixins. That sounds
good. It's so good, bro. Shout out Lazy Bed, bro. I want Quillan versus someone game, but lower level. Give me Nicholas Mota. Ooh, I'm not mad at that. That's a crazy good call out, bro. Hernandez versus Ludovit, solid. Is that scheduled or is that just something you came up with? Because either way, I like it. If y'all can you give me a breakdown of the card? That would be great. I saw the main event at the reception. Tommy got fucking fingered, but that's all I know. Main card started at 2 a.m. Bro. Yeah.
Shout out Freddie, but yeah, Tommy got double fingered there.
he got double fingered, brother. He got double fingered. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the prelims and I'll do a quick recap of the main card for you. So, Nano, I'll go to you first on this middleweight bout between Ikram Aliskerov and the Iron Turtle. What were your thoughts on this as it was playing out? Did you think that the Iron Turtle was working his way back in? Did you think maybe he had done enough in 2 rounds? Or did you think the judges got this one right across the board?
I think they got it right. Yeah, I think, going into it, seeing Khabib in the corner, definitely scary as far as the Iron Turtle is concerned. You knew that Ikram was going to go in there, be disciplined, do all the right things. And I thought he was a better fighter. And he went out there and displayed that. Well-rounded. He was quicker. He was establishing himself at range. Got the takedowns required. Did enough damage. I think it was a good, well-rounded fight. One crotch shot, which, again, these things happen. And it was kind of funny. He waved him off like, no, I got you in the liver there. You know, might have maybe grazed the cup a little bit. But no, all in all, Ikram is as bit of good as we thought he was. Obviously came into some hard times fighting literally the cream of the crop. I mean, one of the best we've ever had in the division, being a Habit Hitika. So those things are going to happen. But I do think Ikram deserves a top 15 or next. I think he is definitely talented and deserving, especially after a performance like that. Whether it's a Joe Pyfer or a Roman Dolidze who is coming off a loss and doesn't have a dance partner, I think either of those guys makes sense. And I'd love to see that matchup. Even Paulo Costa, we want to throw him in there as well. Secret of Juice. But yeah, AP, Alex, Ikram did get the decision, but it was a dominant performance from him over the course of 15 minutes, in my opinion. And I do think he gets a ranked fighter next. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a solid fighter, is Ikram Aliskerov. And as you said, it was fairly dominant, right? 19 seconds of control time to 6 minutes and 7 seconds. And on top of that, like, you've got him landing at least 8% of his significant strikes, or sorry, 9% to the ground. And he landed almost 100 significant strikes over the 78 of Jung Young Park. So it was 91 to 78 in significant strikes, 126 to 91 in terms of total strikes. He just outworked him, right? Like, Jung Young Park is durable. He's got heart. He's one of these guys that will outlast you and will out-heart you in a lot of situations. But if you can outwork him, you can beat him. And that's exactly what we saw here. Not a whole lot else to add as far as color commentary. I think you did a great enough job breaking it down, Nano. And then as far as what's next for him, right? Like, the middleweight division is fairly stacked. But a lot of movement, right? They haven't updated the rankings this week, but we've got Anthony Hernandez up 2 spots, Brendan Allen up 4 spots, Adesanya down 1 spot, Ranier de Ridder down 4 spots, Habit Hittaker down 1 spot, and Jared Cannonier up 1 spot. So a lot of movement already, right? And with that being said, what do I think should be next for him? I agree with you, man. I think Secret Juice is probably a good shout. If not Secret Juice, I don't know, man. Do you pole vault him? Like, how high do you take him with a win this big? Do you put him all the way up to like 7 or 8? Ranier de Ridder, Caio Borralho, like, both these guys were in talks to have a title fight next, dependent on their previous fights. So it's tough. I think Secret Juice makes the most sense, but they have to have a backup for that fight because Secret Juice just doesn't show up more often than not. So you schedule him against Secret Juice, Paulo Costa, and then you have Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidze as a backup for that fight.
I like it. I think that's the
You have it set to headline like an Apex card next year.
Definitely can do that.
Which, real quick sidebar. Am I the only person here that's like super fucking stoked for at least year 1 and year 2 of the new acquisition? Like, Paramount Plus, I mean, the Fox one was great. ESPN one was great. Even the Spikes days were great whenever it was like 1 year in, 2 years in. And then people tend to get lazy and rest on their laurels. But year 1, those Apex packages are probably going to be pretty fire, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that we don't have to pay for pay-per-views anymore is music to my ears. Even just being able to go back and replay it, like, it was a little bit of a monkey wrench in my Saturday. I wasn't getting married, but it was one of those things where it's during the day and, you know, we're running errands and things like that. And I'm telling Amy, we're like getting ready for a party, this and that. I'm like, I have to watch this. I can't just go back and casually watch it without paying $80. So I am excited to just have full, unadulterated, unfiltered access to the UFC at all times for $8.99 or whatever it is a month. Much better. I can't.
And
wait.
because I do the thumbnails with like fresh images that they update on ESPN and UFC, I notice a lot of like really random minuscule things. So like they've already started, I think, porting the fighters over to Paramount Plus, at least for the fighter profiles, because the UFC picks are no longer populating on Google. And now it's just the tops picks and like the other sports cards in other nations. So I'm excited. I'm getting excited, man. It makes it feel like it's even closer. Matua said Paramount Plus is going to be exhilarating. Yeah, I can't fucking wait. Jack said, I'm looking forward to the move to Paramount just for the newness. Things are stale to me right now. I agree, man. As an MMA fan, especially like, I'll be honest, the only thing more exciting than the Paramount move right now for me is Dana White stepping down and us getting a new frontman for the promotion. I think that'll bring a lot of freshness to it. And Alex Pip said, no, I can't wait. Even with the White House card and no pay-per-view is big plus. Dude, facts, bro. Facts, dude. The White House card is one I probably won't be tuning into. Not a huge fan. But I can tell you the rest of it I'm super stoked for, bro. Super stoked. Lazy Bed said, I'm most anticipating the changes in the broadcast presentation. Graphics, new tell of the tape, different statistic engines, etc. Same. That's exactly it, bro. Like when Fox 1 took over, I loved the detailed analytics that we got. And then when ESPN first took over, we'd get the stat breakdown at the bottom of the screen on the app, and it was just fantastic to see. So I'm looking forward to see the innovations that we get with this kind of new kind of rollout on Paramount Plus, if you will, and everything that it brings as far as the freshness of it all. And then on top of that, I'm also looking forward to seeing kind of how they promote a little bit differently, because again, the ESPN promotions have gotten kind of stale for me. So I genuinely think it'll be a lot of fun, man. I think it's gonna be a fun ride. And with that being said, speaking of fun rides, this bout between Mateusz Rebecki and Ludovit Klein. It was a lightweight bout that was a decision win for Ludovit Klein in the end. Klein lands 0 takedowns to the 3 of Mateusz Rebecki, but he outlands him 90, or he didn't outland him in total strikes. He did in significant strikes, though. It was 90 to 113 in favor of Mateusz Rebecki in total strikes, but in significant strikes, it was 82 to 72, so a 10-strike differential. And I'm not even going to do much of a breakdown here. I'm just going to say this. I will admit I was intoxicated, and I was possibly halfway asleep watching this fight. But
guilty as charged.
In my heart of hearts, I stand convicted, 10 toes down in the sand. I think if Mateusz Rebecki can stand, he wins this fight. Genuinely. I thought he did enough, bro. I don't know, man. The ankle was obviously compromised. I think if he stands, he wins this fight. No, what were your thoughts?
It was a hell of a fight. It pretty much played out how I thought it was. You know, we could play it back from Friday. It just felt like Mr. Highlight's going to be technical. He's going to go out there and just do what needs to be done. Be the smarter fighter that chose his.
Or no, sorry, it was Klein that broke his fucking ankle, and he still won the fight. Jesus Christ!
In the 3rd round, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, up until
it was at the end of the fight.
At the end of the fight, and he somehow weathered the storm. I mean, you see him grimace right when it happened. Couldn't even get off the stool to celebrate his win. So obviously shattering his ankle. But other than that, he went out there and did what I thought he was going to do. Mateusz Rebecki is a juggernaut. I didn't think he was going to get finished.
This is a real thing, bro. Since that war that he had, dude, was it with Oralby, right?
Oralby, yeah. Mick the Beck Oralby.
Dude.
Where his eye was tore up as well.
Boy, yeah, both those guys looked like they just went through a fucking legit war in their fight. And yeah, it's happening every fight now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that dude's like a Tasmanian devil.
Is that something, Nano, that we've seen with other fighters where, like, because I mean, scar tissue is one thing. Like Nick and Nate Diaz, they've both got terrible scar tissue, and it just busts open every fight. But I mean, dude, like with a broken orbital, I don't know that I've seen a lot of guys where it's like, oh, I got a broken orbital, and then every fight after it's like it's either broken or it looks like it probably should be ruled broken. It's messed up.
I think it's just the way he fights, right? I mean, he's the type of guy, he's willing to get one, and when you have that kind of style, you're constantly marching forward. You're in a lot of ways just throwing caution to the wind.
Grimy.
You're bound to get toe up from the flow up. So I just think it kind of complements just the type of guy he is. Rebecca's on the card. I'm tuning in. I think if you weren't so sleepy from the food you're eating out there, you probably would have been on the edge of your seat. But that's what Rebecca gives you. He gives you absolute chaos. He's just not the technical guy. And when it comes to point fighting, I just had that feeling Mr. Highlight was going to go out there and take care of business. But it was a true back and forth. And again, legit adversity. I mean, I think most guys tap out as far as, hey, my ankle's broken, I'm done. I mean, we've seen that happen very often. Cue up Tom Aspinall again here for Lord of the Pies. But to finish that fight with a broken ankle, absolute props to Ludovit for just being a savage. But he was a better fighter. Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. And I'm glad he won. And now I think he does deserve
close fight.
Top 15er. It was very close. It was a great fight.
Close fight.
The other night for a reason. But
I need to go back and rewatch that one because I thought Round Becky maybe did enough to win, man.
With the takedowns, but again, like we saw with the judges, they weren't just looking at the takedowns as, oh, you won, you scored more takedowns. I just felt like Ludovit was leading the dance. I think he had more of the significant strikes. Just everything.
This is the thought I was trying to get out. I was just fucking obviously stumbling on my shit. Had Rebecca stood up after Klein destroyed his ankle, he would have won the fight via TKO. Because if a man can't stand, they rule the fight at TKO.
And that fight IQ, that just goes to show, like, he's just going Hulkamania mode in there, Tasmanian devil status, and probably didn't even realize. Granted, they're rolling around. I mean, how would you know? Like, he's on his back. I mean, you probably hear him fight. Maybe you hear the bones crack, but Rebecca was seeing red, and again, that just goes to show, like, that IQ. Like, you got to know what you're doing in there. You got to be able to read those signs.
He's like a young Dustin Poirier, right? He just gets excited to get into a scrap, I think.
He loves it, man. He loves it. And he's built different, man. I mean, that dude is dense as can be. I don't know how the hell he makes lightweight, but I think the better fighter
he's
won.
built like a pit bull, dude.
Yeah, bro. He is crazy to look at. In terms of what's next for Ludovit, I mean, man, to mention Hoofy again, like Mauricio's going to want to bounce back. He's number 15 at this point. I think that makes sense. Is Michael Chandler ever going to fight? Is he still waiting for Connor? I'm not sure, but that's another name. I'd go as high as maybe Renato Moicano, but I don't know if Money Moicano would take that fight just because it's not the star power or, the higher ranked opponent that he would want. But Ludovit, Mr. Highlight, certainly deserves someone with a number next to their name next. That's all I'm looking for. What do you think?
I mean, if you look at Tapology, he's already ranked, right? Or he's 16, so he's right outside. He's scratching the surface. Like, you don't want to give anybody behind him, like a Faraz Zayam or anybody like that, or Alexander Hernandez. I think Michael Chandler makes probably the most sense. But if he says no, maybe you do like Ignacio Bahamondes or even, and this is jumping way up the ladder, obviously, but he needs to fight. Not a lot of people are signing the dotted line apparently these days. Why not Ottoman, right? Rafi Al-Fazif.
That would be a banger of a fight. Those guys would be sick. Stylistically, two of the best strikers in the division. Outside of the top 5, obviously. We know the obvious names there, but in terms of new generation, new blood, those are two guys that I'd love to see square off. I think that honestly is probably my favorite pick so far, but that's probably as high as I would go personally.
Yeah, same. That's the thing. I'd rather see him fight Chandler just because of like kind of where they stake as far as rankings right now, but I don't know, man. I genuinely think that if Rafael Fiziev would take that fight, that's a fun ass fight to make, bro. And no matter who wins, the fans win in that one. Styles do make fights, man. Speaking of Styles making fights, Nathaniel Carved of Wood coming in against Jose Delgado. He gets it done via decision in Abu Dhabi. Dude is an absolute beast. He did get outstruck though by 40 strikes. 101 to 141. He also got outstruck in significant strikes. 99 to 134. But he lands 2 of 3 of his takedowns, racks up some control time, and apparently sometimes the judges like control time and sometimes they don't. So, yeah, I agree with Grimy here. I thought Delgado won the fight. As much of a Nathaniel Wood fan as I am, I thought Grimy was up 2 rounds. Exactly. I thought he had the first and last round, Grimy. And I don't know, man. I guess you can score it the other way, but 40 strikes is an awful lot. And then it'd be one thing if it was 40 strikes in totality, but the significant strikes told the opposite story, but it's simply not, right? Like there's 40 strikes in total strikes, and there's a little over 30 in significant strikes that he outlanded him. I had Jose Delgado winning this fight. Thought this was a weird one. But yeah, it is what it is. Before you give your breakdown, making the walk, Jack said, if Raumbecki stood up and forced Klein to try and stand up and won by doctor stoppage, how do you think the MMA fans would view that? Man. They'd probably say that Klein quit because he had no ankle. Knowing the fan base that we have. Nano, what are your thoughts on that question, and what were your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I mean, I can only speak for myself, I guess. Like, and I would say, like, he did enough in that fight to earn the win. Like, it's not like Mateos was just a punching bag out there. Rebecki did have his moments. He did land some strikes. It was fight of the night for a reason. Would not have been mad at a third round injury and it was forced by the takedown. It was because he took his opponent down, kind of muscled him into that position. You know, those mats, or the floor in the octagon is, I guess, mostly compared to like sandpaper. It's sticky. Again, you mentioned the Scadaboo ankle injury, just got rolled up on. But personally, I would have been totally fine with him. I mean, he got hurt. It's tough because I did think that Ludovit was winning. But maybe that was just seeing the cleaner strikes land and just knowing Rebecki was not really putting up a lot of defense. I would have been totally fine with it. MMA fans may not have loved it, but that's part of the game, right? I mean, you got to finish the fight, and if you get hurt, you break an arm, you do whatever. I mean, that's just what it is, especially at that point in the fight. If it was the first round, a little annoying, but we got hell of a freaking fight. And the fact that Ludovit was able to tough it out is just more props to him, because he could have quit. I mean, let's be real. Like I said, I think most people, I'll just, again, speak for myself here. If my ankle snaps off like that, I don't know if I'm still fighting. I don't care how much adrenaline's pumping through me. I might just look at him and say, no, I'm good. Like I'm holding my ankle. I'm shit, all that. Like I would have been crying like a baby. So I would say it there, but let me know how y'all feel. I mean, would that have changed anything for you guys? Again, Rebecki put on a great show. You win in that fashion, A-okay by me. But that's not what happened. Ludovit got the W, and I think Rebecki did not lose any stock in my book.
I agree. I definitely agree. And shout out Leroy. Don't forget to smash the likes, folks. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think the question more is, would fans have given Raumbecki credit, the same credit they would have given if he had broke that ankle with an ankle lock or something? No chance. No chance, bro. MMA fans are so fickle. I think they would have discredited the W and called it circumstantial. 100%, bro. 100%. And damn, that's a brain fart on Raumbecki's team. 100% as well, dude. This isn't the first time that we've seen this in the UFC, though. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it, but I know there have been at least one or two more fights where someone, their opponent broke their ankle. They were on top of them in the more dominant position, and instead of standing up and telling them to stand, they stayed in top position and lost the fight because they were already down multiple rounds before the ankle break. So it happens, bro. It happens. Raumbecki deserved all the credit, 100%. Especially if the fight breaks, or if the ankle breaks in the fight and you put on a show up until then. Come on, man. But yeah, Jose Delgado, he won this fight, but they gave Nathaniel Wood the nod. I'm not gonna play matchmaker for Nathaniel Wood. I don't care to. I don't think he deserved the win. It was a weird one, and I'm happy to move on when you are.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a fun fight. I was definitely entertained. I'm a big fan of Jose Delgado. He had that phenomenal spinning back fist that dropped Nathaniel Wood. But again, he got dropped himself in that same round. So to be honest, like as I was watching, I was rooting for Jose. I thought he was winning, but I could see it the other way too, in the sense that Nathaniel looked tough, man. Like he was still marching forward, did not get rattled, stayed the course. Razor thin, man. And yeah, there were some weird scorecards, or it's a tough gig. I mean, without the numbers and stuff like that, to go back to the Paramount point, I hope we get that like smart octagon that we've seen in other organizations or other affiliates, because having more access to the live results and strikes here round per round, like that would have helped me as a fighter, especially when it's razor thin like this. But man, Nathaniel, talk about being carved out of wood. Like to bounce back from that, to knock down your opponent, and then continue to march forward. I mean, it's another one of those scenarios where neither fighter lost value in my book. In fact, I think it only made Jose Delgado, just to me, confirm the fact that he is probably one of the most exciting and most lethal strikers. But Nathaniel weathered the storm, man. I mean, you got to give him credit for bouncing back, knocking down Jose as well, which nullified the biggest moment that Jose had, right? I mean, that if that doesn't happen in that same round, I think it does potentially go a different way. But that 10-8 gets nullified when you get dropped right after you have a exciting moment. So, don't know what's next for these guys. Don't think they're getting a ranked opponent, which is kind of my barrier of entry. But I can't wait to see Nathaniel get back out there. I can't wait to see Jose Delgado get back out there. I do think he is on track to be somebody in this division. Mark my words.
100%, bro. 100%. And the other fight did come to mind with the help of Alex Pipp. Shout out to the married man. Happened to Sean O'Malley, kinda. And I think what you're talking about is the fight against Chito Vera, which somewhat applicable, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. It did happen to Sean O'Malley in another fight. He broke his foot on impact with a head kick against Sukum Toth. And then Sukum Toth was down 2 rounds, takes him down, and is hunting for a finish on the ground, hitting, trying to get subs, etc. Ultimately goes to a unanimous decision win for Sean O'Malley. His foot was shattered. He could not stand. He could not put a pound of pressure on it, he said. And had his opponent stood up and backed off of him in that ground exchange in which he was on top, Sukum Toth would have won that fight and ended Sean O'Malley's win streak. Right then and there. So we've seen this happen before, bro. Like, we've literally seen this happen before. Nathaniel Wood is the only true British man on the card. Let's go, dude. Dude, you're hella funny, dude. Don't forget Delgado missed weight. That's a great point, Lazy Ben. Right. And on that, you know what? I'm not as mad that he got the L there. You know, that's a strong name, Matua. Nathaniel. He said, "I'm going to name my daughter Nathaniel."
Nathaniela, Natalia.
Let's go. Natty Woods versus Volk now. That's so funny, dude.
But that is a fair point, huh? If it, Ty goes to the runner, hey, he missed weight. I don't know if you necessarily reward him for not obviously winning the fight. It was close as nails, and maybe that's something to factor in as well.
And with that, we move into the next bout. No, I'm going to keep it honest with you. I'm going to keep it real, as I always do on the No Filter show. It is no filter after all. This was a heavyweight bout between two very out of shape men. Hamdy Abdelwahab went out there.
Going here, are we forgetting about Mr. Hillherk here? Did we break that down? Did you skip over Valter? No.
Oh my God, we skipped over Valter.
My brother. Before you keep going.
How could we do it?
It could be a quick analysis because it was a quick fight.
How could we do that? Minute 24 seconds, he ripped the grown man's leg off. What more do you need to know? The guy came out to the weigh-ins with a necklace on of a man's snapped and severed heel, and so it came to pass, as they say in the Bible. 5 significant strikes thrown, 5 significant strikes landed, 7 total strikes thrown, 7 total strikes landed, 1 takedown attempted. No, you're not going to believe this. 1 takedown landed. All perfect 100% stats for Valter Walker. Oh, I'm sorry. How could I do that? How could I forget one? 1 submission attempted and 1 submission landed. So Louis Sutherland, my God, the only thing more upsetting than his performance against Valter Walker was how different he looked on the scale in the UFC versus pre-UFC on all those PEDs. Oh, man, you hate to see it. The degradation of muscle. The decline ain't fine, but man, Valter Walker is divine. The guy went out there, man on a mission, and it's like he had a game plan. Yeah, he's the opposite of his brother in every single way. He is the antithesis of a not wild man. He goes out there with exactly one game plan. You know what he's planning on doing, but like Khabib, you don't really know what to do to stop it. So, yeah, great performance. What's next? Jailton Almeida. Nano, what were your thoughts?
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I mean, it was what Valter wanted to go out there and do. Not a lot to say. It was not a lot covered or not a lot happened other than took him down, got the hook. And it is one of those things, like, after you see so many times, like, God, how do you just not, it's coming. How do you not protect your goddamn ankles, brother? But that's what he does. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's athletic, and he's a specialist at what he does.
He's an MMA anomaly.
He is an MMA anomaly. Well said, AP. And I'm curious to see how long the train's going to stay on the tracks. The Jailton Almeida definitely makes sense. If that's too bullish for some of you, maybe you want to see him fight someone a little bit more in the middle of the pack there. Still ranked, maybe a Marcin Tybura, but on paper, like when I say that out loud, I don't love it. Like, it's not really tickling the fancy. And I think I do want to see Valter get tested. So if it's not Jailton, I say you give him to the Black Beast. I say you give him Derek Hot Balls Lewis and see if the KO artist can potentially save his own heel and maybe get the knockout. But he definitely deserves a step up after his 4th consecutive heel hook. And does he have the only 4? Is there maybe 1 or 2 others?
There's one other, and that's Rousimar Paul Harris, the guy who's known for holding onto them and snapping ligaments after the ref has told him to let go.
Well,
Matua, he's been blacklisted from 3 promotions.
Really?
Yeah, the UFC is one of them.
Oh, shoot. What a jerk.
Yeah, UFC and Bellator, to my knowledge, he's been blacklisted from.
Well, I guess that's the Valter.
He got slapped in the face post-fight by a fighter because he ripped his shit. Like, just ripped his shit. And, like, he tapped, the refs told him to stop, and he kept torquing it. Like, dude's a piece of shit. Matua literally said Rousimar Paul Harris reincarnated. And Making the Walk had the best clapback I think I've ever read. Matua, except he let go of the lock when the ref tells him to. Yes.
A very important difference.
There's a pretty big difference there. It's the difference between, like, Rajah Jackson knocking a man out versus knocking a man out and landing 22 more successive strikes to an unconscious body. Alex Pipp, first fourth round finish in the first round via heel hook. That's a good stat. Yeah, and it's his 4th heel hook in the UFC. Again, he tied Rousimar Paul Harris, but he became the only man to ever have more than 2 in a row in the UFC. And he has 4.
Insane. That's the Valter Walker sub now.
Stat.
Official. Got the OSP choke, and now you got the Valter Walker heel hook.
Dude, I love it, bro. I love it. I'd love to see him fight Jailton Almeida. I think that'd be fun. Or Sergey Spivak, I think would be another really fun one.
Yep, I like it. He has a little bit more of a ground game, so should hopefully.
Polar Bear's solid, bro, and he's got really good submissions and anti-submission game, like submission defense.
Exactly.
I think, if I'm being honest, I think he'd be a tougher match than Jailton Almeida from what we've seen, because Jailton struggles when he's put on his back, right? But man, the issue with Valter is he can get from the bottom or the top. Like, he's not a power top, guys. He's a versatile, or whatever they call him. I don't know.
He's a bottom daddy. No, I don't know.
He's a switch hitter. He's a switch hitter, boys.
And shout out the World Series. We are in inning 12 right now, so.
Oh, look at that. I didn't even know. These heavyweights have the leg dexterity of bow leg and peg legs pirates. That's incredible, bro. Arr! Hey, fun question, Nano. Do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
I'm assuming it's the R.
You know, that's a safe assumption. That's a safe assumption. And a lot of people think that, but it's actually the C.
Oh, fair enough.
They love the C, bro.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one.
You like that? You like that? It's a level 2 dad joke, you know? Oh man. Yeah, Walker isn't a dick. That's for sure. Well, he won't be fighting the man he called out, whom you two will be discussing in a moment, Mr. Hamdy. You mean the Egyptian guy that fought Black Peppa Pig? Is that what he called him? Give me the Egyptian guy who fought Black Peppa Pig. This guy has no grappling.
Oh, dude.
Oh man. Well, that was such a weird call out, Jax.
It is weird. I guess they had some beef in the back, or they're going back and forth. I mean, I like a fight that has some steam behind it. I don't think it makes sense. Like it
makes no sense, bro. He has twice as many wins as Hamdy has fights.
If there's bad blood, I mean, hey,
chocolate Peppa Pig.
Matua.
Matua's firing on all cylinders tonight, brother. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Hamdy Abdelwahab, he ruined my hopes. He ruined my dreams. He ruined Chris Barnett's UFC career. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Barnett gets cut after this. He made him look like a lazy overweight heavyweight. Wait, stop. They released Hamdy after a win.
I don't see any news on that.
Hold on, Lazy Man. Was that on Roster Watch?
Oh, no. Silently cut ties with 2 fighters after the performance. Oh, let's see this.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh, Maxim, which he did have the fence grab, and then Hamdy for the illegal elbow to the back of the head when his opponent's just laying on the ground covering himself the whole time. I mean, jeez, that was a little annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's weird.
Wow.
Maybe his contract was up and they didn't want to re-sign him, but that definitely is a little shocking.
Dude, that's pretty wild. I actually am pretty flabbergasted by that.
It could be just maybe his comments after he. So I mean, I guess to kind of lead into it, Hamdy won, beat Chris Barnett, and really the big takeaway here was the illegal elbow to the back of the head. The ref was very adamant. Hey, I warned you, don't do it. I get it, but it was one of those things. It's like, dude, if your opponent's just laying on the ground like this. Like just with his hands, I mean,
he hit him with it once, and then Barnett was essentially giving him the back of his head.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's frustrating. It's just frustrating. Should have done it. I don't condone it, but it is one of those things. Like, what is he supposed to do? You know, I mean, he's just laying there. Pitiful performance from Chris Barnett. Hamdy won, got the job done. But I guess we don't need to talk much more about it. He's not on the roster anymore.
Imagine outworking your opponent 6-1.
And
getting fired.
I have a feeling maybe it was just his comments. And I quote here, according to essentiallysports.com. He said, I didn't care at all. He told reporters, I know I was dominating the fight. Take a point, take a round. It didn't matter. I was looking for the finish. I mean, that's not ideal. Maybe you want to show more remorse. Like, hey, I'm not trying to hurt these guys. Obviously, we know why you don't hit in the back of the head, because that is true brain damage and the softest part of the skull. So bad look, and that's unfortunate that, kind of put his foot in his mouth there, or should I say heel in his mouth, since he was trying to get Valter Walker, the heel hook king right now. But yeah, weird. Great shot out there. It fell under my radar. Was kind of silent releasing of him, and Maxim kind of makes sense as well based on what he did.
I would say Hamdy probably popped for something.
Could.
I think he popped for something, and since it was his last fight, he just asked to resign from the UFC instead of having them release the results.
Instead of a suspension. Just say we're just not going to
because if you don't resign, they don't have to post a suspension. And then you don't have to take a pay cut whenever you sign for somebody else. Yeah. And Bellator would eat him up, bro. Like he'd love to fight for Bellator or PFL, any of those guys. He could even go to like Combat Global or something and fucking become a heavyweight champion there. What's next for Chris Barnett? I don't know. Hopefully retirement. I'm a big fan of his. I love Huggy Bear. I love the way he like dances and fucking throws moves like a Tekken character, like Fat Bob. But I digress. Like this was a sad fucking fight to watch, man. And the next one was just as sad, in my opinion. Flyweight bout between Azat Maxim and Mitch Raposo, in which there were less than 100 strikes landed between the two of them combined. We had 59-30 in totality and 30-19 in terms of significant strikes. Mind you, Azat Maxim landed 7 of his 19 attempted takedowns, but still only landed 19 significant strikes. Yeah, I mean, and making the walk, that's it, bro. Like he said, that's out. I'm not mad at it. Hamdy has popped before, so that could be it. I won't miss watching his fights. Nobody will. He was fast for heavyweight, and like it was always impressive to see, but he didn't use his speed the way that he should. So it is what it is. Meanwhile, Mitch Raposo looked really good. Probably the best he's looked out there, and still one of the more boring flyweight fights you'll ever watch. His opponent got cut. There's a reason. I can't imagine they keep Mitch much longer, depending on how many fights he has on his contract. And that's no knock to Mitch. It's just I think it's a stylistic thing, right? Like, he got 7 takedowns landed on him. He blocked more than 10, which is very impressive. More than 13 even, right? But it's tough. They keep putting you against grapplers. You're going to have to get even better at grappling negation. And if a guy shoots 20 takedowns, you got to be able to negate 15 of them, if not 20. He did just enough to win, not much more, not much less. So good win, solid win for him in his UFC career. It's nice to see him get into the win column here, but the fight stunk. And Lazy Bed, did you just type that right when I said that? Happy for Mitch. 3 different fights under the UFC banner against opponents who miss weight. Finally gets a W. Fight stunk. That's like, dude, that's exactly the sentiment I was making. That was actually kind of perfect. So yeah, like that was it.
Fight. Yeah, it was a sneaky fight. Maxim had his moments with the wrestling early on, but Mitch definitely bounced back. I'm surprised he didn't get credit with any takedowns. I thought he got some, but maybe they're just reversals, because he did have Maxim on the ground up against the fence, to which Maxim blatantly grabs the fence to help himself get into
top 3 worst fence grabs we've ever seen, I think.
Oh, dude, and shout out the ref. That ref was on it. I loved how firm.
No nonsense. Keith Peterson's fighting for a nickname after that.
Shout out Theo Vaughn, because Keith Peterson was on there. I'm gonna check that out tonight. But yeah, I mean, that great reffing. Like, he stopped the fight and told him, you fucked up, Aaron. You not only grabbed the fence, but you used the fence to get in a dominant position. No siree, Bob. Point right away. Love the way the fishing was going all night. And yeah, I mean, I think outside of that, like, Mitch did enough in the striking department when they were on the ground. And again, this goes back to the point. Can't just land on your opponent. Can't just score, quote unquote, a takedown. He wasn't throwing punches. He wasn't doing anything with it. And so that's where I think Mitch did end up, getting the W. He got 30% of Maxim's purse. So shout out to Mitch for at least getting paid, given the fact that his fighters are not making weight. But and it was funny because DC and they're hyping up Mitch, he's this guy, American, woo-ha, all that. But it's like, I didn't see anything. They were doing more fainting and engaging of distance than there was actually true violence going on. So not going to pick a dance partner obviously Maxim's gone, so deuces. But for Mitch, I don't know who's next. I don't really care to make a prediction or a pick, because I won't be too excited if and when he gets back in there. But hey, prove us wrong, Mitch. Go on, put it on a show. Let this be your tackling fuel, if you will.
Tackling fuel. You need to go see Principal O'Shag Hennessy's office. You mean Principal O'Shaughnessy?
You give me lip.
Give me lip right now. Go see O'Shag Hennessy. That was one of the best ones, bro.
By far.
Aaron.
Timothy.
D-Nice. Is D-Nice in class? Yeah, the substitute teacher ones are the best, especially because my significant other used to be a teacher, and hard names to read. Man, one of my funniest memories of her was at a graduation ceremony, and a girl had a Samoan last name or a Tongan last name, and it was like Ofukufohano or something like that. And the look that she gave my significant other was just the funniest thing when she mispronounced it. It was so good, dude. I took everything I had not to laugh in the crowd. Oh, man. But I digress. I tell you when I was laughing. Lazy Bed. Plus 350 my ass. That was definitely the best part of the fight. The post-fight little speech was better than the fight itself. That was fantastic. Shout out Mitch. Mitch ain't no bitch. He got his half in the win column. And I don't have a fight on the tip of my tongue for him, but I'll be paying attention, man. He's a solid guy. Speaking of solid guys, we got to talk about some girls, and one of them who's not maybe as solid as we thought. I'll be honest with you. I sprinkled her on not one, not two, but all 3 of my parlays that I decided to put in New Orleans because it is legal to do there. It wasn't anything big, right? I just did a unit on each of them. But man, oh, I had Jacqueline Armorim by submission in 2 of them, and I had her just money line on 1 of them. And, man, Man. She just didn't do good out there. It was bad. She got split open, just like a fucking pumpkin getting carved on Halloween. Matua said Mike Kalika Kahonali. There you go. I definitely messed that one up. Mike be giving me some evil eyes right now, brother. Maxim versus Makayev and Brave FC would make a lot of sense making the walk. Facts, bro. Facts for Max. Now MIZUKI in a way is a kickboxer. She came into the UFC. She's had a tough run. They gave her Jacqueline Amarim, who is a submission champion. She's a beast, and we thought she was a beast. She got 2 of 6 takedowns. Her opponent got 2 of 2 takedowns. She only went for 1 attempted submission, didn't get her anywhere, and she ended up getting a handful of punches and elbows for her troubles. She got split open by a strike, and her opponent had her bleeding all over the mat. 150 to 48 in terms of total strikes, and 62 to 26 in terms of significant strikes. And yeah, you can say that again, Jax. We were all wrong about Amarim. When I saw how badly she did, the first thing I did right after the fight wrapped up was I checked the underdogs sheet. And when I saw the pick sheet, I took a big sigh of relief before I watched the rest of the card and realized how bad I am at this. Obviously, or at least this week.
A little humble pie this week. A little humble pie.
You know, when I travel, I notice I do a lot worse at this whole thing. Not locked in, as the kids say. But yeah, we were all wrong about Amarim. We all had her, every single one of us. It was one of very few house picks, and we were all wrong, man. We were all wrong. Sarah Longo, though, baby, dude, he's still my boy. She's still my girl, MIZUKI in a way. Fucking fire fight for her. Fantastic work, start to finish, and look, she made her opponent fight her fight, and that's exactly what you need to do, brother. It's exactly what you need to do. So, cheers to that. I got it wrong. Turns out I had to do a shot at the beginning of the show, whether we start at the bottom or the top of the card. So, cheers to that. Cheers to you. Like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell for notifications. If you haven't already done that, what are we doing here, folks? Come on. And if you're drinking, I hope you got one poured up. Let's fucking go. Cheers.
Salud. Yeah, it was
That's funny. Lazy Ben said my only hope is at 31 she can figure out whatever's causing the inactivity, inshallah.
Yeah, I guess I would be curious to know what it was, but MIZUKI, man, biggest underdog, got the W, and she fought her fight. I said last week, like, she likes to play bully ball. She pushes her opponents back. She uses that physicality. She's got great movement, and frankly, she just showed that she was the tougher, more violent, more skilled fighter that night. Maybe if they run it back, maybe it's different, but I just felt like off the rip, once MIZUKI got taken down, which was in Jacqueline's wheelhouse, she was able to get the reversal. She was able to be more violent and score. I mean, right away. I mean, she dropped a few heavy shots right on the chin to Jacqueline Amarim as she's in full guard. And that was really the telltale sign that it's going to be a long night for Jacqueline.
I was impressed with Amarim's chin, if I'm being completely honest.
Dude, I mean, those are some brutal.
She was getting cracked, kid.
And the liver shots, the knees, and the clinch. She did. I don't know if it was her pulling guard, like dropping into position, but I think she got dropped a couple times. Like, she did not like those body shots, and MIZUKI was ripping them. I love a fighter that uses boxing in that way. You rip the body.
They were to the low ribs too, so like they were just. Like, you've heard me say this before. I'll say it again at the risk of sounding repetitive here. Like, she was stacking pennies, bro. She was stacking pennies for a rainy day. And those pennies, they add up if you do it enough. She was.
Jacqueline didn't have an answer, brother. Yeah, I mean, MIZUKI is a problem. Like, I think we were all scared, like Lazy Bet said. I mean, she's 31 years old. Like Lazy Bet also said, I mean, 3 fights in 6 years. But then you look at MIZUKI and who she's fought. I mean, she fought Averna Yandaroba, went to a split decision, 5 rounds. It was an Invicta, but still, lost to Amanda Lemos, lost to an Alexa Grasso. Like, that did scare me. But then, I guess you look at it and it's like, well, those are all some of the best fighters that we have to offer. And she was stretching them out, making them earn that victory. This was a wake-up call. Like, any given Saturday, I want to say any given Sunday to use a football reference, but you just never know. And if you have that violence, you have that edge to you. And she looked like, I don't want to say cocky, but it was confident. Like, she was okay with wherever it went. She was looking to score. and she just put a mean whooping on Jacqueline, that is. So MIZUKI, I'm a fan, not just because it's one name, MIZUKI, but also like that was a definitive win. You're the massive underdog. You're leading off the card. You're setting the tone for the rest of the night. And man, huge props to her. Jacqueline's going to have to go back and get on that Mackenzie Dern treatment, learn how to strike, learn how to use the knees, because that's only going to help you out in the long run. You can't truly be a one-trick pony, if you will. But MIZUKI, man, that was fun. It was a fun fight. And like you said, she was bleeding her. She was beating her up. But I was mostly impressed with her willingness to stay ripping the body all throughout for 15 minutes.
Walking forward in the clinch and throwing those shots in tight compression the way she was nasty work, bro. And like Lazy Bed pointed it out here in the chat. I don't know if you saw the clinch uppercuts. Even Sanko said, DC used to do that. That looks like you in there. And that's wild to say about a strawweight, bro. And making the walk set here, and I agree 100%, maybe some bias here, DC has the best clinch uppercuts in the UFC history. I agree with that wholeheartedly, bro. I thought MIZUKI looked good. I mean, Trump would possibly say, some would say she looked great out there. MIZUKI, in a way, my favorite fighter from China. Whether she's from there or not, that would be the quote. Oh man. No, all jokes aside though, I'm gonna throw out a little bit of a different one here. Okay. They're right around each other. I got two names on the tip of my tongue here, Nano. Burjaswing, Alexia Tainara.
Ooh.
I think that's a fun fight. Other than that, if we don't do that, right, and that's a big if, we got to pole vault this lady up 6 ranks to fight Lupita Godinez.
That's my name. That's exactly it. Granted, everyone else in between already have dance partners. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like the tweeners, like you got Jillian Robertson, who's fighting Yasmin Lucindo. You got Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington, who's fighting Denise Gomes. You got Zhang Wei Li, who left the whole division to fight Shevchenko. You have Angela Hill, who's fighting Fatima Klein.
That would have been.
And then again,
yep.
Denise Gomes is already fighting Tisha Pennington, like I said. So, and I agree with you, bro. Denise Gomes, if she wasn't already stacked against an opponent, probably would have been the most logical pick. Yep. But looking at the fact that most of these girls are already matched up, MIZUKI has already been a victim, if you will, of inactivity.
Yep.
So the last thing I want is for her to stay inactive.
Yeah.
And if I'm being completely honest and calling a spade here, as I often like to do, Nano, am I crazy to say Luma Lookbomi?
No, I mean, the reality
she's only 2 slots behind her. And if you get a win over a big Thai star like that, like you got to think ranked, not ranked, somewhere in between, it's going to carry relevance, bro. And you're going to just still etch your way up that top 15. Yeah. Especially with an absent champion or an absent dominant GOAT champion.
Yeah, I it's one of those things. Like I look at it, you know, the heavy favorite here was Jacqueline Emery, and we assume if she was going to take care of business as she should have, she was going to get a ranked opponent. She was going to be able to take that next step up. But now MIZUKI gets to steal the hype, and I think benefit and reap the rewards of that. So I do like a Lupita Godinez. I think that makes the most sense. But like you said, if you're going to go down a little bit, which all in the same neck of the woods, a Loma Lookbomi, I even like a Piera La Fiera Rodriguez. She's coming off a dominant win over Ketlin Souza. Another phenomenal striker. 2 tough, badass women. But my first choice is Lupita Godinez. Give her a ranked opponent. She earned it. Let's just call us, like you said, call a spade a spade.
If I'm being honest, dude, from a fan perspective, the Luma Lookbomi shot is the one I like the most. It's exactly what Lazy Bed said here. Striker's delight. Like as soon as I said it, Matua said, "Ooh, Lookbomi." Jax, I'm a fan of Loma. I like that fight. Lazy, I like that style matchup. Loma versus MIZUKI. Yeah, that sounds fresh. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, like that, for me, when I'm looking at the list of names that are available right now that don't have fights matched up, that respectfully need a fight, right? They like, you're looking at somebody who needs to bounce back. You're looking at Loma Lookbomi, right? She needs to bounce back. She needs to hop into that win column. And what better way to do it over a fellow striker? You're not going to have to worry about getting taken down by somebody like Inoue, right? She's a kickboxer who came into this, which is the reason that she has that 6 losses on her record. I genuinely think it's exactly what Lazy Bet said. It's a striker's delight. Call Hunter and fucking book it. Hunter Campbell, if you're listening to the show, come on. we're giving you these picks for free. All right, bro? Let's go. It's Luma Lookbomi versus MIZUKI in a way. There is no way to tiptoe around it. Just book it. Just book it. Both women will sign happily for 8-8 or 12-12 or whatever fucking peanuts you got them on right now. I like that fight. I like it a lot, man. And then if we're calling a spade here, coming up this week, we have a hell of a card. And I mean hell in not necessarily the best way, right? It's headlined by Steve Garcia and David Onoma. I mean,
let's go.
Interesting fight all around. Is it the most exciting fight night we've ever seen? Nah, probably not. But do I think someone is probably primed to go to sleep in this one? Absolutely, bro. It's gonna be a good fight card. We'll be here to break it down later in the week. We'll pick out a date, probably Thursday. It's typically the date we do those. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the bell for notifications. That way you get those notifications when we do go live. And until then, folks, we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We'd stay and chat with you all night if we could, but man, work is calling. And I got to catch up on some sleep after that vacation, which I didn't get a whole lot of it. So, folks, hope you enjoyed the fights. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed at least one of the two. And cheers to you, folks. Cheers to Alex Pipp. Congrats again on the wedding, my guy. And we hope all you guys and gals cashed on all of your tickets that you put in for this fight card, because I know I sure as hell did not. But next week, we look to rebuild, or rather this week, and we'll get it going. And for those of you that don't know, I'm hoping to end up in Arizona this weekend to see the co-hosts for a brief period. So
let's go.
We'll try and get some in-person content, at the very least some pictures to do a little montage up on the screen next week's episode. And with that being said, folks, we really appreciate you. If you do nothing we've asked you to do for the last almost 2 hours, we'd really appreciate you if you do the next two things. We ask that you keep on going, and we ask that you keep on growing. And folks, we really, truly hope we see you next time. Let's go.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.